Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're 20 Sides to Every Story. I'm Alex. I'm joined here by our merry band of players, which include Ryan playing Geoffrey the Knight, Winston playing Silver the Elf, Moreen playing Lillibeth the Hunter, Issac playing Stephen Fitzpatrick the Friar, and Dawson playing Topsy the Grimalkin. We are without Thomas the Bard tonight, but we are going to start to get back into the groove of this campaign, which has been ongoing since 2022. And so if you would like to check out the past episodes, you can look them up over on our YouTube channel, or you could go out and find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you could even pop into our Patreon page where we have all the old podcast episodes archived. So if you enjoy what we are doing and you want to support our games and the actual plays that we put out each week, the best way to do that would be to support the Patreon page. And so by joining that, you get to gain early access to the edited versions of this game. And basically the big benefit of that is I edit out all the verbal pauses and the flipping through. There's not a lot of flipping through a book, I guess. It's scrolling through the PDF as I try to find answers to the questions that they propose that I just don't know off the top of my head. All that kind of stuff gets kind of cut out of the podcast version. So, and we even have a added bonus kind of happening right now for the folks who support at the Electrum tier or greater are eligible to organize a group to play X-Crawl with us. We've got, 3 teams right now that are playing all sorts of different X-Crawl scenarios. If you're familiar with that, it's basically like D&D meets Running Man. So check that out. You can get all of that over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/20sideseverystory. So yeah, let's get right into the game this evening. And players, please fill in any of the gaps that seem relevant. But basically, you guys have left Fort Vulgar now with a big wagon full of casks of wine and spirits. And these were all things that you dredged up out of the cellars of Castle Sintolin. And you have it kind of on good authority that these barrels, their contents would be very valuable if you should find the right buyer. And as fortune would have it, the very next town over from Fort Vulgar is a brewing town, and a town of enthusiasts of spirits and alcohols and such. And so it is very likely that you could find a buyer there and perhaps sell all of this off and acquire for yourselves a sizable bit of wealth, maybe to kind of establish yourselves here in Dolmenwood. And so you have set out. I think, if memory serves, you left Fort Vulgar and you made it. I don't think you spent any time out camping. You made it to a roadside inn, I think, on the first night, if that's correct. Or maybe you did spend one night camping. I don't remember. I think it's been 2 nights. Does that sound right?
Either way, it sounded like we were either going to camp right after this or we did camp. I forget if we did the actual camping.
I think the wording was we had one day, we got to the end. Day 2, we weren't going to get it all the way. We could camp at the end of the day, but I don't think we got to that point yet. I think we're almost just before it.
Gotcha. Let's see. Yeah, you left on the 7th of Braghold, and it is the 9th, so we're on our third day of travel. I believe it was on the previous day you had all climbed up onto a large hill that had this like chalky pillar that had some runes and such on it. We kind of checked that out. Lillibeth had been kind of like looking out, trying to find landmarks or points of interest that might, lie on the horizon, and did see kind of a ruined bell tower kind of jutting up out of the woods. You probably saw like the top of like a chapel and such too, like just kind of like a ruined structure that seemed kind of far out. You took a mental note of that. You climbed down off the hill. I think you traveled for a bit and then camped out. No, I'm sorry. It is the 8th of Braghold. I see what I did here. I had a day ready to go, but my notes are actually, so it's 11 a.m. That's my note that I have here. We ended the session around 11 a.m. So it's 11 a.m. on the 8th day of Braghold. As you came down off the pillar, I think you traveled for about like 2 or 3 hours or so. You went into the woods, and that is when you spotted the ruins of the bell tower and everything like that just off the road. You parked the wagon and decided you were going to kind of go in there and like maybe check it out, scope it out a bit. I don't know. What do you guys want to do about like Chris's character being gone? Do you want to say that he's hanging out with the wagon, just like keeping an eye on it?
I like that. That's good.
So you all can see everything in Foundry here. So that's basically where you are standing. This area, like you can see, there's a ruined structure that is a church. Off to your left, kind of down, like over the wall here, there is a tower that you'd be able to see that like rises up taller than the wall that surrounds this acre where this church is. The wall is pretty tall, 15-foot high, dry stone wall that is largely still intact. There are some places where some stones have fallen in and such, but for the most part, relatively stable. Where you are standing as you're looking into, or looking towards the church, there is sort of just like this small little avenue where there are a couple of saintly statues, as you can see depicted on the map there. Two on your left, two on your right. Each one, especially the Friar, like these would look like some minor saints, depictions of saints that you might be familiar with. It is daylight, so there is, even though you're coming out of like the thick of the woods, plenty of light shining down on this area. Well, I guess the weather, sorry, let me retract that. I have to look at my weather here. It's a little cloudy here today, but there's definitely enough light that you're able to see in. What would you like to do?
Topsy, I have oh, hi, how you doing?
Splendid.
Good. It's nice to see that. I have a little bit of a concern about this. Do you mind going cat mode and kind of scoping out a little?
Sure, but not when you're
climb
looking
up?
silly. I need you to go through all of you. Turn around. Around. No peeking. No peeking.
Like one a little
Okay.
dance. I was like, okay, if I have to.
Are you
I'll
done?
As soon as everyone that I can visibly see, and if any other sentient things can't see me, the kitty cat appears. This takes one moment, not too long. No peeking.
It just
And
takes
you make that sound.
it just takes a round.
It takes a round, but the thing is, no one can see me when I do it.
Sure.
No sentient creature can be watching me do it.
All right. Transformation is complete.
That's a really good, almost like side ability, because if you think someone's watching you, try to turn to a cat. And if you can't, you're being watched.
So before you, a slightly overweight calico just sitting, ready, looking at you.
My God, thanks, Topsy. Appreciate that. Do you mind just kind of like poking around and slinking around in there and see if you can see what's up?
She will give a accepting meow and proceed towards the Abbey church temple. I'm not sure.
Okay.
To get a closer look.
Let me just see. I gotta pull this out and start tracking turns. So you start to move past. There are kind of attached to the wall here a pair of gates that are just barely hanging on to their hinges off the wall. You very easily can kind of just skirt them and walk right into the courtyard here. And what you will see is kind of straight ahead here. So like this whole area, at one point had nice little cobblestone paths that kind of led right up to the threshold of the Abbey. It looks like it kind of skirted around the church. It provided walkways for people to kind of, parishioners or worshipers or whatever to kind of enjoy the grounds here, but it is all just overgrown with thick like needles and just kind of overgrown with weeds and brush and such. Off to your left, you can see a 4-story bell tower. There are a number of dark birds roosting there. They all, I don't know, maybe like a dozen or so, just silently perched up there looking down at you. The doors leading into the Abbey itself are similar in condition as the gate that led you into the courtyard here. They're just kind of hanging, big, tall rotted oak doors.
I think the first thing I'll do is I'll waltz my way over towards the tower doors first. Kind of move myself in that direction. Similar story, but is there a door barely hanging on its hinges, completely closed door? Any openings that would be, I don't know, cat-sized?
The door doesn't look like it's in such poor condition, actually. The door looks large, sturdy, and is closed. It's an oak door.
I will, I guess, get closer to it and just take a moment and just have a listen. See if I hear anything.
Yeah, make a listen check.
All right. I have the listen skill. It is on a 5 and 6 or a success. Or do you roll? I don't remember if you roll it or I roll it. I don't know how that works.
On this one, I'll let you roll it.
Oh, you're so nice. I rolled a 6, so that would be a success.
Let's see. You can hear what sounds like you can't really make out any details, but you do hear two voices. Youthful voices. Just kind of hushed whisper up above. Your best guess is not immediately on the other side of this door, but maybe a couple stories up. There aren't any real windows per se, but you're just really in tune with your feline senses or whatever, and you could just kind of hear kind of the echoing within the tower, their chatter, but you can't really hear what they're saying.
All right.
You can hear enough that you can tell it's
something intelligent.
It's the common tongue, yeah.
I will not investigate that any further. I will do is I go towards the Abbey doors and kind of just have a quick peek inside, see if I see or hear anything. And after that, I will report back.
Yes. Inside the ground level here, you can just see it is a mess in there. Just the whole roof is basically caved in, and it's just rubble. You can see sort of the remnants of pews and such kind of sticking out of some of the debris. But a lot of this has a lot of color, I would say. A lot of greens, a lot of fungus kind of growing up and out of where the vegetation is fighting against all the rock and rubble and starting to protrude through and grow upward. Even the walls in there, this whole building is constructed of limestone blocks, but much of it has been the forest is kind of reclaiming it a little bit, At the far end, probably with your feline senses, you'd probably be able to see that there is still an altar there that is distinct in that there's not a lot of vegetation that has encroached upon it, strangely.
Okay. Depending on how much time I guess I still have left in this area, I'll take whatever necessary precautions and little looks around to see in just this front section. There's nothing that's going to hurt us immediately walking in.
Not that you see, no.
I would say after that, I would walk back through the front door, hop in the cart when no one's looking, of course, because no peeking. And then you just see two humanoid hands pop up from the back of the cart and say, "So, here's the gist, fellas. Number one, Friar, I think you would find the Abbey itself pretty. It's full of, wonderful things, a lot of greens, a lot of fungus. You're a fungus guy, right? Yeah, you are. I know. 2, strangely, the bell tower, you see that tower right there?
Yes.
Door still intact. Hey, guess what? You wouldn't believe it. They got squatters in there.
Oh, there's someone there.
There's 2 someones in there. I'm not sure who they are. They sound young and full of life and hopeful, those types.
All the things we used to be.
Yeah, well,
Steer clear of.
we can call out to them.
Oh, just so we're clear, I don't know if my fancy way of saying words, they sound younger is what I was trying to say. Probably teenagers. Probably. That's all I got.
Any saints? Did you find any? Sorry.
What would teenagers be doing out here?
Well, I'm not one to guess on that.
Civilization,
Are they Droon?
No, it sounded like they were speaking in you guys normally talk. Right now, August.
Well, is anyone opposed to me just calling out?
What are you gonna say to them? You gonna call them trespassers?
No? Okay.
Yippee!
I can hear it now. You pesky children, you're desecrating sacred ground.
Hello, I'm
Well,
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Topsy, that was perfect.
So
I
you
know.
call out.
Yes.
All of the birds on the top of the bell tower, all look straight down at you, and one of them even like, stretches its wings out and kind of dives straight down and then swoops over and lands like right on the wall here and just gives you like an evil looking glare.
Oh, I was like getting ready to pop it with a fist, but I'm happy that it didn't attack me.
Didn't attack, just trying to intimidate, I suppose. Leering in your direction.
Oh,
I'm counting how many do I see on the roof.
Like about a dozen, at least
they
that you can
larger
see.
than a monkey?
Brother, I think the birds are trying to intimidate you.
Yes. It seems that way. We've been up against worse. Either way, hello. I'll call out one more time.
There doesn't seem to be any response that you get.
Mind if I try something? Time to put my old persuasion skills to use. I will walk my way up to the bird and say, listen, between you and me, we know that you're the one in charge here. So we're meaning no harm. We're merely just passing by, seeing what the area is like. And I'm aware already, I'm sure you're well aware, there's 2 people-ish inside the tower. We mean them no harm, of course. Frankly, we probably don't really care too much that they're there. We just wanted to see the Abbey for our good friend, the Friar. And as I said, between me, you probably have the blackest feathers of them all. And I'm going to conjure a treat for it, and it's going to be a little tiny field mouse. And I'd say, if you want, this could be all yours.
It just, stretches its wings out. Doesn't make any noise. But all of a sudden, it just regurgitates this really long, thick earthworm that just, like in several of them, just drop out of its throat. And they drop and they hit the ground. And they're almost acidic. Like you watch these things just kind of burn into the earth and dissolve. And then the thing takes flight and flies back up to the top of the bell tower.
What?
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I think that's a no, Topsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Do
do you have speak with animals or anything, or were you just talking to it?
I'm just talking to it.
Okay.
No, I don't. You have speak with animals, though.
No, I do. I was just wondering what. Unfortunately, I already. Well, I guess maybe we might have to watch out for the birds. I don't know.
I don't think they're birds. Birds squawk. Birds squook. This bird just went like this and then vomited acidic worms. He's basically like a gangster. I'm scared of these birds. I don't like them.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
There's something wrong. I think there's something strange has claimed this temple. That's not a product of the one true God.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm intrigued.
As am I.
Let's go see if we can meet these squatters.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Friar. The altar was suspiciously pretty clean compared to everything else. Just thought you should know.
Oh, well, thank you. We'll get to that. Thank you.
Is there any sort of blessing you could try on either the...
Well, I spoke to Apu, and it would... Well, I this is a bit, I don't know, embarrassing, but I feel that I've tried to bless things recently, and I don't know, for some reason, the one true God just doesn't hear me as he once did. I seem to still be able to help us and bolster us in battle, but blessing an area seems, maybe it's punishment for that. For me, maybe getting upset with an angel or whatnot. I am unsure.
And
Also,
Abu told you this?
yes, your monkey told me that the one true God was quite upset with me. No, I don't know.
I would trust you, but I've never heard Abu say anything more than...
Oh, no, I spoke with him. Just remember, on the hill.
I do remember, but...
So where does that leave us now?
We are going to try to maybe knock on the door? I don't know. Or do we just circumvent and go straight to the Abbey itself? I really hope that we do get a chance to see this place. Whether these birds, we're not leaving it up to them.
I think we should check it out. I think we need to take a look and see what's going on here. Just, whether there's squatters, whether there's evil birds, we should at least go in. We should check out the altar. See what's happening. Maybe forage in where all these fungus are or something. But we should at least, it's worth a check out because, we've been on the road for days and seen nothing odd at all. And we've heard of teenagers hanging out miles away from civilization and birds who are like stepping to us. It's very strange. I say we just go on in and check it out. Check out the courtyard first. Get the look of the perimeter, and then go on in.
I agree. I think if we don't see these squatters, I don't like the idea of them being behind us. So let's check there first.
All right, so the group wants to go to the bell tower first.
I'm going to unship my bow from my back just to be like, have it ready in my hand instead of something I have to grab. And I'm touching the skin around my mask, and I said, well, I hope this decision doesn't turn us all into a bunch of jiggle sandwiches.
Or a bunch of birds.
The
Or a bunch of
acid,
birds.
it's like triggering memories to the acidic worms.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. I'm going to mark down a second turn. Having been completed. So going to the watchtower, or the bell tower, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds good. So you get up to it, and you're in front of a sturdy-looking wooden door.
I have no token, so I wouldn't know.
It says I have no token either.
That's okay. Just trust me. There's a wooden door there.
We trust you.
I believe you.
He is the one true God.
And Alex, you said the door is actually sturdy. It's not like dilapidated or like hanging on the edge or anything. It's like, okay.
Correct.
Does it look like it's, does it have like a traditional like handle, like just like a normal door?
Yeah, just like I don't know, just handle. It's not really like a locked kind of door. There's like I suppose there is a keyhole on it, but it doesn't appear to be locked.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I was getting at. Okay. Well, only way in is through the door, so I'm just gonna open the door.
Open the door, and it is relatively dark in there. A little bit of light trickling in from the door frame where you stand. But straight in front of you is I guess as the light filters in, what you can see from your vantage point is that there is a staircase immediately to your left, like a wooden staircase that leads up to the next level. Straight ahead of you in an alcove is a 4-foot tall marble statue depicting like a saint with arms held out, and there are like a couple of old pews, like I don't know, they don't look like they're in like super rough condition, but they're definitely very old.
Would I recognize the saint, or is it generic saint?
This is, well, I'll say you have to probably like go like from where you're standing, like it's kind of shadowy and such in there. You're just getting like a little bit of light from outside, so you probably have to go in there and like look at it and inspect it to tell.
Okay.
Do we need torches and stuff to see in there, or is there enough light once we step in? Or
you could, on this level, you'd be able to see a little bit, but there aren't really like windows. So if you're going to be exploring this, you're going to need a light source.
Gotcha.
I'll pull out a torch.
Sounds good.
I think maybe I would look at least to my brother and say, well, we do know that there are people in here, so maybe we try to call out to them again from inside.
I'm with it.
Yes. Hip.
Hip to it, brother. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Do you want to call out again, or shall I?
You go ahead. You're a bit louder.
The Geoffrey here. We mean you know.
You very loudly announce your presence here at this tower. There is no response.
Brother, they don't hear us.
Yeah. Well, I guess then in that case, if you don't mind stepping in front of me, we can go in.
I will lead the way.
Yeah, very good.
And I will draw Sir Chide's sword and then have my shield in front of me.
Okay.
And I'll start going up the stairs.
All right. You're all heading up the stairs.
I really do want to check out. I want to check out the statue. I'm going to check out the statue. If wait for a second, I'm going to check it out because
okay,
statues. I would say saints tell us a lot about what the area we're in. So
All right, so we're searching this level. So Friar, you head forward and you take a look now with the gift of your light from your torch, and you can clearly see that this is a statue that depicts Saint Woad, a saint of bakers. What is it? Bakers, bears, and hammersmiths.
Saint Woad.
There's actually an inscription that confirms that at the base of it.
He's got his hands out like this.
Yeah.
Topsy, maybe, since he's the saint of bakers, maybe he would like some muffins or a pie or something. Some food,
Give me 1 second. I gotta check something quickly. If I can even do that for non-living things. 1 second.
So while you're checking that, oh, you got it?
I know what I'm almost there. It's like, I see what you mean there, Sir Knight Geoffrey guy. Like, he looks like he wants to hold something with arms wide open.
Yeah, maybe, he might like it.
Do you have a hammer? I don't have a hammer. Let's see. It's with a flourishing jester caster conjures a mortal's or animal's favorite treat. So, well, I mean, I
go
can
for
just...
a pie, Topsy.
What kind of pie?
Oh, lemon meringue.
It's like a little, pretty much like the equivalent of like a little Walmart-sized pocket pie. It's like,
I'll put it in the saint's hand.
Who puts it in its hands?
I do it.
Silver does it?
Oh God.
Oh boy. This is another situation.
Silver does it. I don't know. I'll say like you place the good in its hand, and like there's like kind of a momentary flat like glow, almost like a very warm kind of light that emanates from the statue just briefly, and then subsides.
You feel that, my friend?
I unfortunately feel nothing. But that happened. We all saw that, right?
Yes.
I saw it.
Of course.
They try it again.
perhaps someone else might do it. I mean, if my memory serves right, your god isn't too keen on us around, Perhaps that must be of you.
I might try it. Sure.
What do you want?
You know what I like. It's just...
What? That's not a baked good. Sausage is not a baked good. I think you want pastries, no?
Yes.
You know what?
Make me
a mince pie sounds pretty wonderful.
a savory empanada.
What's that?
It's like a mince pie, yes.
I make a mince pie. There you go. Make sure to eat it.
Well, I know we have to...
It's no point.
Yes. Well, thank you. Here's another gift. There you are. Saint Woad. Yes, Saint Woad. This saint, he fed 12 hungry bears that were going to attack a village. Yes, the bears ended up becoming great friends with this saint. He saved the village and saved the bears, as well as many of the hunters are being sent just the next day to hunt these bears and attack them.
But we didn't.
Of course not. I give the thing. Can I do a slight prayer to the saint, asking for protection?
Certainly can, and your prayers are answered. I'm going to say this is another turn. So mark a turn on your torch. We did have a donation that just came in from the Potato Lion. We are raising money for Futures Explored this past month. This is probably our last night that we'll have that up, but thank you, Jenna, for the donation. I'll say you guys have a player reroll in the tank there. Yes, so you present this baked good to the saint. You're still feeling the earlier warmth that came off of the statue from the previous offering that Silver gave it. And you say a little prayer in honor of Saint Woad and his many miracles. And you are rewarded by the one true God with a holy spell that you probably don't have access to, so I'll just snip a image of this, but it's called Appeasement.
Oh, sweet.
You cast this spell, takes 1 round, and the aroma of fresh bread wafts from the caster's hands and under the nose of a living subject within range. The subject is rendered non-violent for the duration, unable to attack or make any aggressive action. They do get to save versus spells to resist, with a -2 penalty if they understand your words. So I'll just pop this in our Discord. All right. So while all that was happening, was there anybody that was not involved that wanted to do anything during that 10 minutes? All right. Hearing none. What is next?
I mean, I guess if he's looking at the, praying, I would probably just check around the room and see if there's anything else of interest in the room while we're waiting to kind of go up the stairs.
You kind of dig around and kick around at the ancient wooden pews that are slightly decayed. They're definitely not. Their condition suggests that they might be some, several decades old at least, but nothing too interesting do you find.
Yeah,
Can I see if there's any?
Go ahead. You're good.
Can I see if there are any bird droppings or anything else? I'm just going to go ahead and look to see if there's any evidence that the birds have been in here.
Yes, maybe less so in here, but definitely as you were coming up to the building, like on the outside, on the exterior, you would have seen a lot of heavy bird droppings on the outside of the tower, but a bit in here as well.
I don't like that the birds have been in here. How did they get in? Oh,
Yeah, up above, it's not like a hollow chute all the way up to the bell tower. So there's no easy access from the exterior down. So they either got in here via the door or via the stairs.
Well, I say we might as well head up, right, and check it out. See if there's anybody up there, see what's going on up there. At the very least, we can look out and get the lay of the land from a higher viewpoint.
Agree.
well,
How sturdy are the stairs, and are we gonna go single file, or is this can we go 2 by 2?
This would be like a single file kind of situation going up these stairs. They look like they are in sturdy condition. You don't see any rot or wear that would alarm you.
Cool.
I'm going to pull my hood forward.
Sounds good. So you start to head up, and it takes you up into this next level as you are coming up.
Yeah, and I'll obviously go in front.
As you're making your way up the stairs, you kind of hear some hushed whispering in the dark. As you come up the stairs, you are coming into a room that has some bedroom furniture. There's a bed frame, a wardrobe, a chest of drawers, and lying around the room are 3 bedrolls. Kind of squinting and reacting a bit to the light that you have just brought into the room are 2 unkempt children. There's a little blonde boy of about maybe 5 years of age, and another lad, maybe a little older, maybe 8 years. He's got black hair, matted. He's just caked with dirt, filth. They're wearing kind of just unkempt rags, basically. And they're just kind of crouching in the corner of the room, kind of holding their hands up. The little blonde boy just starts crying.
Yeah, I think as soon as the kid starts crying, Geoffrey's gonna break and is gonna just be like, "We mean you no harm," and try to hold his hands out, put up his sword and his shield and kind of hold his hands out and try to comfort the child. The crying child.
The 8-year-old kind of goes over and gives him a hug and is kind of trying to comfort him as well. And he looks at you and he says, "Who are you, mister?"
And I'll say I'm Sir Geoffrey, of the Fitzpatricks, and this is my brother, the good Friar.
Hello, children.
And we'll go through the whole introduction of everybody, and just kind of, this is Lillibeth and Topsy and our friend Silver, and we are just here to take a look at the temple, and we thought we heard children and we were concerned. And it seems like we had reason to be. How did you get out here? Why are you alone? We're so worried about you now.
We're not alone. I'm here with Bill Bree, and Violet is somewhere too, and of course we're being looked after by Mr. Raggenbones.
Raggenbones?
Yeah.
Mr. Raggenbones.
Yeah, he's real nice. He takes care of us.
Can we speak with him, please, children?
He lives upstairs. I don't think you should bother him right now, though. He might be sleeping.
Does he sleep during the day?
I don't know. Oh, we're not allowed to go up there, but he lets us go and play out in the dirt.
Mr. Raggenbones, is he
A skeleton?
skeleton or yes, a human or an elf or?
They just kind of both look at each other, and the little blonde kid says, "Skeleton?"
Yes. Very good. Well, I feel like at this point we have a few friends who are skeletons, so...
That is true.
We've met some very nice skeletons along the way. I am concerned about the state of the children, though. They're covered in dirt. Are you hungry, children? Have you eaten?
Mr. Rag'n'Bones feeds us very well.
Okay.
What does he feed you, if I can ask?
Bread,
Bread's pretty good.
Just
I
good.
like bread.
worms.
Worms, yes. Speaking of worms, my dear children, there are these ravens, some type of creatures outside, the large birds. Do they bother you when you play around?
The little blonde boy says, I like birds.
Oh, you do?
And
Do they
the
like you?
8-year-old says, I like birds too. They're cool. Yeah, they watch over us. They keep us safe.
How do they do that? What do they do to things that are unsafe for you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they talk to Mr. Rag'n'Bones and let him know if there's danger. Boy, Mr. Rag'n'Bones must like you if he let you come in here.
What is he?
Yes.
How does he let people know he doesn't want to come in here?
I don't know. I guess I've never seen anybody try to come in here, but he always tells us that he's watching out for us. He'll keep us safe.
That's nice. I know he might be sleeping, but do you mind one of you going up to maybe wake him and let him know there are a few people here that would wish to speak with him?
No.
No.
He couldn't have been more clear to not bother him during the day.
It's only at night.
We're not supposed to bother him at night either.
He's around it.
He kind of approaches us when he needs things.
Well, what does he need from? What does he need usually?
Well, when he has us dig around in the dirt, and like the little boy kind of puts his hand in his pocket and is digging around a little bit, and then he pulls his hand out and he shows you he's just got a fistful of human teeth that are all decayed and rotten and nasty, and he's looking for this. We give him lots of this.
Give him
Teeth?
the bones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
What
incredible.
does he do with them?
You guys must be a real good.
I don't
Real
know.
good.
Where do you find them? I said there's a graveyard around, I guess.
Yeah, there's a
Oh.
big field of stones, fancy stones with writing on them.
Yeah, yes.
So, but just the teeth.
And he can't get it himself. He needs the children. to
Well,
do it.
they
We're
children
helping.
can enjoy.
He needs
I
us.
was gonna say, Yes.
What, did you run away from home? Do you know where your parents?
Parents?
No, okay.
No, Mr. Rag'n'Bone is a parent now.
Yes.
But who was your parents before he was?
Can you remember?
The little blonde-haired boy just kind of... He doesn't start openly weeping, but he just looks like he's just distraught, like he's trying to think about this issue of parents and he can't conjure up an image. And the other little boy is just patting him on kind of rubbing his back. That's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna.
Just forget about it.
This is not good.
I'm sorry, and I'm going to actually walk over a little bit. Is it okay if I come over and I'm gonna take the edge of my cloak? Can I wipe your face just a little bit? Get the tears off of your face?
He doesn't really confirm or deny. He doesn't really shirk away, but he just looks at you kind of with a vacant look.
Okay, so I'm just gonna dab his face real gently, to get the tears off of his face. And we didn't mean to upset you. We have a lot of questions, and maybe we asked many of them too fast. And I'm glaring at the rest of you. So you've told us a lot, and your teeth look pretty cool. How do you find them? Do you get to choose where you want to go? You just go out there and play, and then there they are?
Yeah, we just play out there and we dig a lot and we try to find worms and sometimes we find the skulls. That's always fun. We start pulling all the teeth off. We get extra piece of bread if we do that, if we get enough teeth.
Well,
want help?
Go ahead.
You want to dig in the dirt?
Well, I'm just really curious as to, go out there, you dig in the dirt, you grab some teeth from skulls, you bring them upstairs. That actually doesn't sound like it's not. It sounds kind of fun.
They both kind of look at each other. I guess he never
have-
said... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I have a thought, but you finish that thought because I'm thinking.
They just... The older boy says, I guess Mr. Rag'n'Bones never said we couldn't bring anybody with us. Okay. Well, you can meet Violet then.
Oh, what does Violet do normally? Or should I just be Violet?
What?
Well, you said I
What?
could be Violet.
You're Violet? No, I don't think so. You're really old.
Well, no, I'm not Violet. You said Violet was.
So you could meet Violet.
Meet Violet.
Yeah. Oh, we could meet Violet. I heard be
Yes.
Violet. It's like, how could we be Violet? Sorry.
Oh, no, she's out there right now probably working. I bet she's got a
Oh,
Well-
she's a bit older. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe a little.
Well-
No, she's like Bilbrey's age. He points to the little boy, the 5-year-old.
Well, I would like to meet Violet if you think it's okay.
Let's see. Like the little boy's like, no, we gotta check with Mr. Rag'n'Bones. And then the 8-year-old's like, okay, yeah, we should probably wait.
What? Why?
Well,
He never said anything about it. If it was important, he would have said, "Don't do it." Just like the door, just like don't bother him, right? Right, Topsy, back me up here.
I mean, perhaps, but I have an idea. So you guys collect teeth for Mr. Rag'n'Bones to give to him, and he gives you food, right?
yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but I happen to be a conjurer of magical treats.
Oh,
Like just downstairs, for this fellow over here, I gave him a lovely, I think it was a lemon tart pie. It was pretty good. And the lovely Friar here, he likes mincemeat pies. They're really good.
They're called empanadas, children.
And that one,
Emperadas?
Very close.
That sounds good.
perhaps we could see if you collect me 10 teeth. I give you each treat. They're pretty good. Or how about this? Even better. I give you the treat now, and you give me the teeth later.
I don't.
Here, just close your eyes and tell me, what is your favorite food?
I like fruit pie.
Ooh, I like fruit pies too. Can you imagine what kind of fruit you would have in it? Does it have like kiwis, apples?
I don't remember. Maybe apple?
Well, and I will flourish in my hand, conjure with the similar apple pie we got from way back whenever from the inn, and say, I had this about 2 months ago. I got it from the restaurant. It is fantastic. I think you'll like it. And I will present the cloth and be like,
So the 8-year-old is just like wide-eyed, like looking at it. You can see he's just kind of like licking his lips. He looks at the, kind of confirms with the 5-year-old, like, should he do it? And he then eagerly kind of goes for it, but stops just short of placing his hands on it. And then just this look of kind of sorrow, restraint, frustration all at once is kind of overcomes him. And he just starts kind of crying.
Oh,
I can't.
is there something wrong with it? Did I make it wrong? Does it look wrong?
I can't. He just like pulls himself away and kind of moves over to the corner.
No one has ever turned down a treat from me before other than the bird.
When you say you can't, that's a complicated feeling, especially for an 8-year-old boy. Do you mean you cannot, if you wanted to, or do you mean that you shouldn't because you're told not to?
He's just kind of shutting down and he's just shaking his head.
I'm gonna kind of whisper back to Lillibeth and my brother, like, these kids are traumatized. Like this, we gotta do something about Mr. Rag'n'Bones here. There's a problem. This is I don't know if we go barging up there, but we gotta confront this guy.
we gotta make sure that the kids, we don't know what they're gonna do if we go up the stairs.
Well, maybe we wait for the kids to go out and gather the teeth, and then we go have a conversation with Mr. Rag'n'Bones.
So we could wait.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. And then we'll ask Mr. Rag'n'Bone if you can have the pie, and if I can go out and meet Violet, and if he'll let us dig teeth with you.
Yes, children, are you fine? I noticed downstairs we might need to we are on our way out, but we do need to make camp for the night. Do you mind if we maybe set up in the lower level of this tower here?
You have to ask Mr. Rag'n'Bones. We
We
don't
will.
mind.
We will
You
as soon
seem
as
nice.
he awakes from his little nap.
Okay.
If you do see him, please let him know that we are waiting to speak with him.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. I'd say maybe I might start going downstairs.
And
once
mark another
once we made-
turn.
I think before I go down, I'm just gonna try to, even though these kids seem to think this is very normal and everything's fine, I find it to be very not normal, and so I'm gonna be like, everything will be okay, children, everything's fine, and don't worry, and kind of comfort them, and then head down.
Sounds good.
Even though they might just be like, okay, creepy old guy, you know.
They don't
Think
seem
you're
to like
okay.
exactly like recoil or they're kind of muted a little bit to your efforts.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull a couple of things out of my pocket. I mean, I've got just stuff that I've picked up along the way. No teeth though. So let's see what do I have that will sort of fit. I have an iron ring. Put that down there. Keeping my whistle. And maybe a piece of chalk.
These are just things you're leaving behind for the kids.
Yeah, it said here. I don't know if you can play while you're waiting or while we're waiting, but here's a ring you can roll. You can even try catching it. And if you like to draw pictures, here's a piece of chalk you can maybe draw on the floor.
Yeah, the 5-year-old goes for like the chalk almost immediately, and he goes to like the northern wall and just starts writing or drawing this picture of this figure with a wide-brimmed hat with kind of a really long nose, hollow eyes, and just big wings, big huge wingspan wings, and then him with like the other little kids he draws in, and like big hearts. Sun is shining in the sky.
Is that Mr. Rag and Bones?
It's a great picture.
He just nods while he's engrossed in his drawing.
And do you love Mr. Rag and Bones? I do.
Does Mr. Raggabones ever go out in the sun like this?
We should probably go downstairs maybe for a little bit.
They don't really respond to your question if you're asking them.
Yeah, I was asking him if he was out in the sun. Okay, all right.
But he has definitely like drawn like a big sun in the sky over his picture.
Yeah.
So you head down to the first level. Am I right in assuming that you're wanting to go to the church?
Yeah.
Was that the destination?
Yeah, I'll say that. Well, maybe I will like float the idea with the group that we might maybe want to just sleep here for the night if Mr. Rag and Bones ends up once we talk with them. But otherwise, yes, I would like to go start looking at the church
Yeah, I'm with you.
while we're waiting for him to come out.
He hasn't already.
He knows we're here. He's you know the birds that were stepping to us are obviously his boys. You know,
Yes.
I wouldn't doubt if one of the bird that was like, "Yo, what's up?" was him. You know, even so.
Mark another turn on your torch.
All right. Torches last for 4 turns?
6 turns.
6 turns? Okay, I think I have 4 left. If there's enough light in here, could I like extinguish it and light it again? That really doesn't seem possible.
You could do that.
All right, I'll just kind of hit it in the if we're looking in and it seems that there's enough light, then I will.
Yeah, actually on this map there should be. The roof is like pretty much caved in, so there'd
Okay.
be light here.
I'll extinguish it and keep. I'll have it for a little bit longer if I need to relight it. Cool.
So you make your way to the chapel grounds. Let me just pull that up. Yeah, so things are kind of as Topsy would have relayed them to you. You can see where the colonnade used to be. Almost all of the columns have broken away and are no longer supporting the ceiling. Just rampant vegetation growing on top of all of the rubble debris in here. The vegetation is even clinging to the walls themselves, and you can kind of see that there's probably some mosaics and art that was depicted upon the walls that is now just completely concealed. And then, of course, on the far side, you can see that altar that's relatively clear of vegetation. And then probably the other thing of note is that there is an ornate pipe organ that's very rusted and coated with layers upon layers of bird droppings off to the northwest.
You know, brother, if I remember correctly from the church back at the estate growing up, is that all the mosaics told the story of the saints and of the church, that particular church, how it was founded. And I wonder if the mosaics here that are overgrown would have a story that would be of interest to us.
Oh yes, of course. Do you mind before we would step in? I know you said there was a lot of like fungus and moss and anything and anything. I am able to identify. I have a chance of identifying things. Is there anything in here that I might see that is problematic or anything that as we're going in here with fungus, as we've heard the story of that one town that maybe has gone mad or something with fungus? It might be.
You want to spend a turn to investigate the fungus?
Yes, if that is okay with everyone.
Sure. Is there anything that anybody wants to do during this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll this. Okay.
I'll just stick with my brother, probably.
I have a 1 in 3 chance of identifying.
All right. Go ahead and make that roll. It's going to take me a moment because I got to pull stuff up that I didn't have ready. Which book?
Well, it doesn't matter
book.
because I got a 1.
Okay.
No.
So in this 10 minutes that you're surveying, you see a number of... I can at least pull this up. I can describe it to you, even though you don't know what it is.
Yeah, if it's something I've seen before, then I would know it. Otherwise, yeah.
Okay. This will be so much better for me when I have a physical book, because I'm not great at these PDFs, but I think I've got it here. Okay. It's kind of... You see a couple... like maybe just 2 or 3 patches of a strange fungus that is in here. Kind of a cream-colored mushroom, very large, floppy cap, flecked with orange.
That's something I don't know about. Okay.
And, of course, I have to pull up a different book for this one.
Sorry about that. Either way, well, you see, I'm kind of forgetting the name of this one here, but I wait, never mind. I've never seen this before. We definitely don't want to go by that. Stay clear of anything that looks like that.
Is there any special term you use for like which mushroom's bad, which one's good?
It's a no.
Is it a no-no?
Yes, it's a no-no is what I used to tell my brother when I was on having a bad spell after maybe consuming some of the mushrooms. No. And then he would know, yes. Yeah.
And then it was just bring the water.
Yes.
There's another one that you see. It almost is kind of like a shelf fungus, but it's very golden hue to it. Very spongy looking, but you don't know.
Don't know
what it is.
Well,
that's it.
Either way.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I was going to ask is, I assume like light rays are filtering down into this chamber presently. Does it look like there's particulates or spores in the air, like filtering through like this chamber?
There's definitely particulates in the air. Whether that is just motes of dust or something worse is hard to say.
Okie.
I will step in first. How about that? Since I want to.
I'll go in front of you, brother, just in case something happens.
All right. Sure.
Either way.
All right. So, unless people are breaking off and investigating things, individually, Sir Geoffrey, where are you leading the group?
I think I'm going to kind of lead the group. I'm going to avoid any of those fungi that my brother said are no-nos. I'm going to be very cognizant of that, and so I'll probably kind of lead this way. I'm assuming the black is like the fungus stuff, or so yeah, just kind of leading it, trying to avoid all that and kind of make our way to the altar, and then probably the organ as well to check it out. But yeah, avoiding anything fungal. I don't want to trigger any spore.
Sure.
I've had some experiences with some of these mushrooms, I think, in the past as well in the campaign.
Yeah.
So, I'm avoiding the mushrooms. I have a healthy fear.
Yeah, definitely. So you are taking a very kind of zigzaggy approach through here, avoiding the mushrooms as best you can. Stepping through around the pews for sure are just caked with mold and fungus and things like that. When you get to about here, you're going to be able to see that there are stairwells that descend down on both sides of the ground floor here. But you continue all the way up to the altar. Well, I guess I should say, I don't know if you step up on the altar quite yet, but when you get here, what you see is a cracked stone altar that is covered in soot. You can see around the kind of the lip, the ledge is decorated with a border of these like little cherubs and imps kind of chasing each other playfully. And there is an imposing mosaic behind the altar on the back wall to the to the west, like behind it, mostly clear of vegetation. And it depicts an elderly man in blood-stained robes who struggles to his feet amid rays of light descending from above him. The man in the mural has a ruby ring on, and alongside him is a scarlet unicorn that lies dead. It has an inscription on it that says, "Of evil vanquished," above it.
We saw a creature like that, right? The unicorn thing.
We saw
Yes.
an evil.
It was a bit sooner.
Yeah, it's a good question, Alex. Does the unicorn look like a very like traditional majestic unicorn? Or does it look all like fucked up and weird?
It's fucked up and weird. I might have a picture of it, actually.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
This
the
guy's
fact that
fighting,
it's
Yes.
fighting
not,
the same evil that we're fighting, sort of, or have fought.
That's bad.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Cool picture.
Ooh.
Yeah, the art in this one is very unnerving. Every single illustration is like... Reminds me of the illustrations from those scary stories you tell in the dark, if you remember those. Like, had the really like nasty, like almost like, why would you ever show this to a child kind of images? I don't know if you remember those, but
Oh, definitely. Those are horrible.
Horribly awesome.
yes.
So that hand looks very interesting in the picture. Can we see that?
Yeah, in his hand, he's wearing a ruby ring.
Alexis almost are both sitting on the altar. That's kind of weird.
Does the altar that's in front of us have the same inscriptions as the altar in the mosaic?
I'm going to say that there is a resemblance. Obviously, the mural is kind of more artistic looking, but when you compare the two, like that's a logical conclusion to come to.
That's a depiction of this exact altar.
Yeah.
And the depiction of the fucked up and weird unicorn, that's kind of do we recognize that as being similar to the fucked up and weird unicorn that we did battle with all those many months ago?
That one was almost like humanoid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're thinking, the one that turned us like the black, like the darkness one. Yeah, never mind.
It's hard to. I would say this is not a depiction of like a nice unicorn. So I'll answer it from the standpoint of like, is it like those? Like, not really, but not really like them, but like them in that there's something wrong with this unicorn. It's red. Like, I think the ones that you've dealt with were inky black and like oozing corruptions, things like that. This one's similar, but is very clearly red.
Right.
Hey, Alex, do you mind sharing that image one more time?
Oh,
I was having
sure.
a little bit of internet
Yep.
connection issues. Thank you.
Oh, my main looking at this and comparing it to what's in the tower is, I mean, I thought it'd be like, a temple to the saint as in the tower, but this looks a lot different than what the other saints described it doing. Like feeding bears, pastry dishes and stuff. And then there's this one. That's a little different, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I do not know. I am kind of unfamiliar with this story. I'm not sure. And the mosaic itself, it looks like it's around the same time as, like, it looks like it fits within this. It doesn't look like it was added after, or it's like new compared to the building itself. I'm just asking if this mosaic looked like it belongs in this church. Like,
From what you can tell, yes,
okay.
it fits with the architecture and such. I mean, it may be a little hard to tell because you haven't seen any other murals to compare it against, but like, there's nothing about it that is suggesting to you that it was like a add-on or something. But that does sort of beg the question whether you might know anything about this. So why don't you roll me intelligence check and try to get under your intelligence.
Okie, a 3. So yes, I know something about this.
Looking at this is triggering for you some folklore that you know about a similar figure who is said to have killed a demonic creature in the Dolmenwood. So you're looking at this and you're believing that the figure in the painting or the mural is Saint Clewyd. And the story about Saint Clewyd is that he tracked a demon named Sallobrig into the Dolmenwood. This was like 300 some years ago, and killed it. Managed to bring it down and vanquish it, but in doing so, he sustained a mortal wound from its corrupted horn, and he perished beside his foe. So he gave his life to rid the world of this horrible menace. From you're not really like a cleric who spends a lot of time like reading up on these kinds of things.
All I have is my prayer cards. So yeah.
Right, like
So
like you're not someone that spends a lot of time in the libraries, right? Like researching this kinds of stuff. So that's probably about as much as you know. But you did hear that at some point in the past that there was like a church that was erected at the place of his death to honor him, to honor his sacrifice.
Okay, I would share that, and I'd say maybe we, where the battle occurred. Oh.
Friar, do you think it's possible, based on what we're seeing, that the evil has returned?
Anything is possible, brother.
But look at the
Yay!
look at the carvings on the altar. Do they look like that? Do we see something like what's on the mural? Are they still there? Because
Yeah, like not exactly, but like around the edge, there are some winged imps and cherubs around like the actual altar. The thing in the painting has some similar figures. It's not an exact likeness,
Okay.
but there's enough symbolism there between the two that suggests that they're the same, or meant to be the same.
So we've got cherubs with wings, and we've got birds with wings. That's probably a really big stretch, though. What do you think happened to him?
Well, he died.
He died, but he was stabbed by a corrupted unicorn. What happens when you die and you're stabbed by a corrupted unicorn? This place, anything can happen. You just said so.
Yes, and that is all it says on my prayer card here. So maybe if we do pull back the mosaic, we'll see if it goes any further.
I think we should check the other mosaics. We stay away from the spores and fungus, but we try to see what the full story of this church is.
Why would the birds shit all over the organ? Oh, anyway, let's go see the rest of it.
Yeah, let's check out the organ too. We're right by the organ.
All right.
I'm curious about that. I don't like the birds, and I feel like if the birds are shitting all over the organ may be the key to something.
Checking out the organ next.
Mother always said, brother, follow the shit.
He did. I never understood what that meant. But I guess in this instance, it works.
Well, when we were hunting for deer and whatnot when we were younger, she said, follow the shit. You will find the deer.
Oh, yes. I guess that makes total sense. Yes.
So you make your way over to the organ. There's an iron bench that sits before it, topped with a very rotten cushion. You're looking at the organ. The pipes are somewhat rusted and corroded. The keys, many of them are missing. And yes, lots of hawker-like bird waste just caked to this thing.
What do you think? Should I press a key?
I mean, if you don't, I know someone who will.
I want
Does
to
it
see if
feel-
this thing makes a big... I know that's ridiculous, but we're out here in the middle of nowhere. I just think it would be funny.
Depending on what came afterwards. Do either one of you, Silver, Topsy, does it feel weird to you? Does it?
No.
I mean, I've seen enough mosaics and paintings of, felines playing the organ from time to time. How hard could it be?
So, Alex, I do have I think I've got a detect magic capability as an elf. I'm blinking now. It's been a while. They changed it.
Let's take a look.
I thought I had a detect skill. Yeah, I can detect magic. So I can attempt to detect subtle resonances that are woven, etc. So I'm going to touch the organ. I'm not going to press a key yet. I'm tempted. That's coming next. And I would just like to determine if there's any sort of like magical resonance coming off of the organ itself.
Yeah.
5 or 6. I'm going to roll it, or you want to roll it?
You can roll it.
Oh, I rolled a 3, so I failed.
So no such luck in determining anything from that, unfortunately.
It's hard to tell. I think that all of this fungus and everything is just... It's hard to detect anything. I can't say one way or the other, but I can press a key. Boop.
Press a key.
Either the lowest note, one or the other.
You go low, I'll go high.
Oh, I'm going lowest. Yeah, I'm pressing the lowest.
I'll go high.
You go and like press whatever. Either way, all of the pipes just kind of shoot out this old, trapped air. And there's just this like very disharmonious note that plays, like all of the pipes are hidden all at once. It's just grating on your nerves. Even after they like let up off the key, like it just keeps going. And
Great.
out of several of the pipes, several semi-corporeal, ghostly white birds, feathers flickering with yellow, almost ectoplasmic energy, start flapping about. And yeah, they're pretty hungry for blood. There's 4 of them total.
I gotta
So
get dice, huh?
who wants to roll for initiative?
Someone
I'll
who
roll.
touched the. Oh,
All right, I'll roll it. All right, here we go.
I've got a 6.
Wow. Come on, come on.
Don't you have a +1 for initiative or something?
All right.
I rolled well, but not well enough.
So these white, we'll call them crows, I guess. Crows from another dimension are flying about, and they're gonna start. Well,
oh shoot!
one
I
of
already
them.
forgot that I wanted to cast a spell. Sorry about that.
One of them in particular is just like flying up in kind of the rafters, I guess you could say, if there was actually rafters left to be swooping about in.
There.
But up in the air, maybe some 10, 15 feet above you. Actually, exactly about 10 feet up. It starts shrieking and like letting out this horrible sound that is going to require you all to make a save versus hold. Do you all have that on your new character sheets?
Yeah.
Yep. And
Just
it's
have to find
D20
it.
roll under.
Want to roll under, right? Yeah.
You gotta roll
Mhm.
under. I failed.
Or wait, no, it should be over.
I think it's over. I think it's
Oh,
over.
then I
over?
passed.
Should be
Okay,
over.
then I
Yay! I passed. 13.
passed
No.
16.
Okay, so Friar and Topsy, the 2 of you are rooted to the spot where you're at, just hugging your ears, trying to prevent yourselves from having to listen to that. So for the next round, you're stuck there. The other 3 are going to attack Geoffrey, Silver, and Lillibeth. So one attack on Geoffrey, misses. One attack on Silver, a 15 to hit.
It hits exactly.
And what's
Me no likey. Me no likey.
It's my bum.
1
leg.
point of damage, but you need to make a... No, never mind. Sorry. 1 point of damage.
Yep.
And the third one is on Lillibeth, and a 9 will miss. So then it is your turn. So Friar and Topsy, you're just like stuck. You just can't move. You can do things, but you're at a -4 penalty for this round. So any movement from any of you.
The
Am
bird
I
right
gonna
next to me
need
is
any
just moving,
movement?
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so do I need to move to get next to this bird, or like
It's in your face right now. It's kind of swarming above your head. So it's like in melee range with you. Any ranged attacks?
I'm going to go ahead. Well, this bird is in my face too.
Yes.
Well, ranged attack isn't going to do me any good until I can see. So I guess I need to do a melee too.
All right.
It's in pretty much everyone's face, right? Like everyone is in the.
Yeah, for the most part. I
Okay.
would say Topsy and Friar, I wouldn't consider the 2 of you in melee, but...
Okay,
yeah.
then I'll be doing a ranged attack then
Okay.
with my sling, and that's a -4. Ooh,
Yeah, it's a
I rolled
-4.
I rolled a 20, so that would be a 16.
Was it a nat 20?
Yeah.
Well, nat 20 will automatically hit and
Okay.
do maximum damage.
Maximum damage. Oh, 4 points of damage as I sling.
Which one are you aiming at?
I will be aiming at the one that is attacking. We're going to say Lillibeth, because I feel like she might have the lowest AC.
It hits that one, and it just disperses into like this ooze that kind of sprays and falls on, Slimer effect right over Lillibeth's front.
Sorry!
So it's okay. I have my hood up.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Give me 1 second so that I can read about something to properly
Oh.
describe this.
Absolutely not.
I think you're going to
we
want
don't like
this.
that.
Oh.
I think it might be
Well,
good.
take your time. Take your
Yes, please take your time.
This is one of those, like, I appreciate the minimalism, but sometimes I'm like, just give me what I need directly in the text. Don't make me reference.
time. Don't make me work for it.
Yeah, especially when the document you have to search through is 500 pages. All right. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, a little filler.
Yeah, when you hit this thing and it disperses, even though it kind of blows up and all this slime and whatnot hits Lillibeth, there is one kind of glistening feather that starts to just take onto the air and slowly makes its way down to the ground. All right. Any other ranged attacks? Otherwise, we do magic and then melee.
All
I'm gonna
melee,
curse
baby.
spells, so we're melee.
Go ahead if you got a melee attack.
All right, I'll go. I'm swinging my sword, and I rolled a 12 plus 2, so 14.
That'll hit.
All right, and I believe it's a D10 of damage. Is that right? For sword?
Yeah, you've got a two-handed sword, so I believe that's
Yeah.
right.
So I'll be 4 plus 1, so 5.
That's a magical sword too.
Yeah.
Yours goes down. Same kind of thing. You hit it, and it just like all this ooze kind of just splatters all over all the stonework around you and the organ. But then it produces this one little feather that floats down to the ground.
Nice.
Geoffrey, you have a melee you'd like to do?
Yeah. I rolled it up already. I rolled a 15.
That hits. And you got Sir Chide's sword, so a magical attack.
Yep. What was the damage die on that again? So do you remember? Was it a D8 or a D10? D8?
I feel like his was a one-handed sword.
Yeah.
D8, right?
I believe it's a D8.
Yeah, there it is. So plus 8.
8 takes this one down. Same kind of thing. You slice right through it, and it produces a feather that floats down. There's one left. So we'll roll initiative again.
4 that time.
We roll a 6.
Dang it.
This thing is going to swoop down, and it's going to try to attack the Friar. It gets a 17 to hit.
Damn.
1 point of damage. All right. Character's turn. Any movement?
Towards the last bird.
Yeah.
Same.
flying, right?
Also towards the last one.
Flying, but it just swooped down. You can get into melee range with it. So I hear Topsy is moving into melee.
I am too.
Joffrey,
I'm-
everybody is. Okay, so we'll skip we're skipping ranged and go into melee. So Friar will give you the first attack.
All right, I'll get our family's mace that I have and attack. And no, I'm more just swiping at it than actually trying to hit it.
Let's go to Topsy.
No.
Let's go to Lillibeth.
Hang on just a second. Let me just see what I rolled. That didn't work. Let me do this. 20. It's not a nat 20.
20 hits.
Okay. And it's with a dagger, and I have no idea what the damage is for the dagger
Your
because I
D4.
can't see it on here. D4?
Yeah.
It's a 2.
Just a regular dagger.
Regular dagger.
It hits it. Doesn't seem like super effective though. Silver
I miss.
and Joffrey.
Does a 9 hit?
9 does not hit.
I missed as well.
All right. Initiative.
I can't kill one bird.
Hey, not
Alright.
not with one stone.
All right. You guys go first. You want to skip right to the melee?
I'm just rolling it now.
I missed. Well, I rolled an 11.
11
12
misses.
hit?
12 misses.
Damn.
Jeez. 11 misses, right? So
Yep.
Roll a 3.
Birdie bird
Bad.
is gonna take another attack.
Bird.
It's gonna like land on your shoulder, Friar, and try to start pecking at your head. An 11 to hit.
No,
You've got the shield of God with you.
I have the one true God protecting me.
All right, another initiative roll. I got a 5.
5 again. 5. All right,
Okay,
roll again.
reroll 4.
6.
All right, you guys go first. Topsy,
Fucking one. I can't hit anything.
I
Friar.
rolled an 18. Oh, sorry. Go
roll.
Friar.
I got an 18.
Kill it.
All right, 3 points of damage.
All right, how do you finish it?
It's on my shoulder, so I'm gonna just like grab it, and I'm just gonna like awkwardly just like beam it like point blank with like the butt of it, and just
And it produces another feather.
oh, how beautiful.
we should get, I'll go pick up the other one from, at least the others from the floor. Now you have 4, because I'll give them to you.
Are they, Lillibeth? Those feathers are strange. Are they real feathers or?
Feels
Like
real enough to
tokens?
me. Do they feel real enough to me? They feel real enough to me.
When you pick them up, you know, they kind of shimmer. They almost have this kind of quality to them that there's almost like an ethereal quality to them that like it's kind of ghostly almost. But it physically feels real in your hands, even if it does kind of shimmer and disappear out of view for a split second here and there.
All right.
The kind
How
of
about
thing
you
that
hold on?
I don't think any of you innately know enough about this, but if you took it to a wizard, a high enough level wizard, they could tell you more about it.
I will hand them over to Lillibeth. I'll hand them back to you. You hold on to them, Lillibeth.
Okay, I'll put them here in my...
For inventory purposes, so I remember what they are, I would just write down 4 ghost crow feathers,
4 ghost crow.
because I will definitely forget about this. All right. So another turn passes. In terms of the time of day, it would be like slightly afternoon at this point.
Is anyone else damaged at this point? I know that
Pick one.
one. Okay, I'm gonna take one and I'm gonna split a bit in 2. I have some spirit theme. It gives you 1 point of health if you. There you go, friend. There you are, sir. Seat it up. Don't mind the taste, and you'll get 1 point of health back.
Perfect. Yep.
And I will take one as well.
Awesome. So as you recover from the battle, realizing that this organ is cursed, what would you like to do next?
I press another key. Different key this time.
Sure.
The G sharp.
We're not doing that. We only play once a month. We gotta make use of our time.
You're gonna play a chord. I forget.
That's right. It's like
That's good. If we find out what those feathers are, we might come back and just grind here.
Yes.
farming feathers.
I wonder if Mr. Scully Pants likes feathers as well as teeth.
Bragging bones.
Yeah.
Gotta remember it.
I think the mural
Well-
next.
Yes, Muriel next.
Okay. So what would you like to do? So these murals, all the murals around the room are heavily encased in fungal growth and moss and things like that. Cleaning each one off would take a bit of time.
Yeah. Would it be
We
worth
have-
their time?
We have concerns over like we have to be careful, right? Like we don't want to just like blast it because I've got like I can just blast a bunch of wind, but I'm worried that'll like swirl up a bunch of fungal stuff. We should be careful, right?
I think so. Just
Okay.
just in case.
Yeah, I think it's worth taking the time. We're not really pressured, so
Yeah, we'll take the
Yeah, we
time,
might
and
as
because we're kind of waiting for
Mr.
Mr.
Rag'n'Bones,
Skelly to
right?
come on out anyway. Yeah.
We see the stairs going downstairs, right? And so I think that Geoffrey is sort of thinking like if there is some sort of evil that's come back here, it's gonna be down there somewhere. But let's talk to Mr. Rag'n'Bones and try to get like some info going on about what's up and see if we gotta fight his ass too.
So the present course of action is cleaning the murals. Okay. I'd say if all 5 of you are engrossed in this activity, taking care, we'll say it's a turn for each mural.
Not bad.
So you want to start on the north wall, south wall?
In our knowledge of these churches, where would typically be the first mosaic if there was like, I mean, I'm thinking in terms of like Catholic churches where they have like the stations and it tells like a little story, I don't know if that necessarily does that. I'm just sort of making an assumption.
I don't know. I don't know if there's like a tradition necessarily that you know of that would pattern things like that. We'll say
Either way,
the south wall maybe
Okay.
is like the typical. So you guys go down like over here and you clean this one off for the next 10 minutes, like kind of, using your knives as scalpels to kind of pull, the roots, like kind of clip the roots of the different mushrooms and vines and things like that, and you're doing your best to kind of pull this away very gingerly, taking your time to like walk away and get fresh air into your lungs as you do so. And as you pull all that away, pretty soon there is a mosaic that depicts a young boy with black curly hair, big wide eyes, who stands in a dark twisted wood just as a deer and a badger approach him kind of deferentially. They're both kind of bowing. The boy kind of has maybe a look of wonder, almost curiosity about these animals that are approaching him. And I would assume, Friar, you speak liturgic?
yes.
Or understand liturgic. There is a little plaque in silver just below the mosaic that is inscribed in liturgic that says, "Of faith waxed full."
I would just read it out to everyone.
And unless there's further discussion you wish to have about that, you'll move over to the next one. which is on the other. And by the way, there are doors over here. There's one here and one here. Wooden doors, somewhat rotted and swelled up from moisture and things like that, but still seems still intact and on their hinges. Okay, another turn passes. You would be clearing away this mosaic here, which has a plaque that reads, "The Stone Uncast." It depicts the same black curly-haired boy, but now a young man, standing by a road near a verdant field. He stands sternly but mercifully regarding a miserable man who is supplicating himself before him. Okay. Another turn passes, and you move over to the next mural is over here. Clean that up. This one reads, "The Pure Unfettered." It depicts Clewyd as a bearded, middle-aged man admonishing a group of soldiers as several shackled prisoners look to the saint hopefully. Another turn passes. The next mural is over on this wall. As you clear it off, you can make out a plaque that says, "The Wicked Punished." Here you see Clewyd as a bearded, middle-aged man standing in a courtroom. He's handing a coin purse to a young man and woman just as another bursts into flame. Another turn passes. The next mural is over here. Clear it off. The plaque reads, "The Sanctimonious Exposed." Here we see Clewyd as a bearded, middle-aged man admonishing a figure seated on a throne as a throng of disheveled, emaciated villagers looks on. Another turn passes. It's now about 1 p.m. And then you move over to the last one, cleaning it off, revealing a plaque that reads, "The Miraculous Resurrection." Here we see Clewyd as a bearded, elderly man, maybe more similar to his look in the mural that's just behind the altar, but he's hunched over a corpse on a slab as its eyes begin to open.
Oh, I know this one. This is Saint Godwin. Yes.
Saint Godwin was resurrected by Clewyd?
Yes, he was horrible. He was a horrible judge. He actually persecuted many of the faith, but he was resurrected. And in fact, that blessed spell that I have used multiple times, I actually pray to this man that is being resurrected. Yeah.
Would you say he was a horrible judge?
He did persecute, but he persecuted the people of the one true God, the faith. But as I said, everyone in their heart, it shows here, is able to change. Everyone, if they seek resolution in the one true God, they are forgiven, and they could go on to do great things even after death. Anything is possible. Yes, as you've all seen.
It's certainly making me pay better attention to what I did listen to during church services.
Yeah. And is that the last one compared to the...
That's the last one.
So we have one blonde boy, one black-haired boy, one woman, and one young man. So maybe, but I'm trying to make some link to the children.
The children was a blonde, right? Wasn't it a blonde and a
5-year-old blonde boy and 8-year-old black-haired boy.
doesn't that line up or no?
Kind of does.
I thought it did. When I was hearing the description, but I don't know if I got that on or not.
I'm sorry. You're trying to make a linkage to the children in the mosaics? Is that it?
Well, the children in the mosaics and the children in the town.
So there's only one character really. It's Clewyd throughout.
Oh, it's Clewyd.
It's always Clewyd
Throughout his life.
Throughout his life,
Okay.
yes. I don't want to make. Yeah, there's no mistaking that. What the Friar would tell you that.
I was saying, I want to see where you guys are going with this because I was just all into it. I was like, yeah. I was like, I think you guys are crazy.
We probably are. We probably just were. My memory is not good.
I'm just more curious where this violet individual is and what lies below. I guess there's also the doors.
Yeah, I was going to say, Topsy, I think it'd be good for us if we could try to clear this floor before we go down, just in case there's more birds.
We're doing such a good job of it. We clear the organ, we clear the mosaics. Look at us.
We're dirty, dusty, mossy, but satisfied.
Also covered in ectoplasm.
Well, yes, that too.
All right, I think we're gonna go to the. I want to go check out one of these doors. This door here, maybe Alex, the one of the right below us.
Sure. So you head down that way. Door in front of you. You want to open it up?
Yeah, you said it was swollen. Is it open?
It does. It isn't stuck. So you open it up, and I'm going to take you onto a different map. Basically, when you open this up, it leads out to kind of an exterior walkway. So you're outside, but there's like kind of a sort of dilapidated covering around it. It'll make more sense when you see the map.
Yeah. Is it like a courtyard or something?
It's like a courtyard. Like it basically looks like this was a courtyard that probably linked up a number of like dormitories for the priests and monastics that lived here. Which one is it? It's this one, I think. Yeah. So you guys would have gone in here, and essentially you're like looking in here. Let me just pull up my little cheat sheet here. Okay. So yeah, again, more crumbling colonnades, lots of cracked tiles, snaking ivy all throughout this courtyard. You can see a number of doors here, 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 and here. So this basically seems like it kind of connects to a number of like small buildings that would have been like residents at one time. There's some heavy overgrowth over here. It looks like you can kind of make out what looks like maybe a well that is more or less just a hole in the ground now. Like the architecture of it, the stonework has all fallen in. And I believe there's one other feature that you see. There is a ghostly figure pacing about, kind of walking the perimeter of the room, of the courtyard. Robes
Wide open. No.
With robes wide open.
Shoot. Give me just 1 second. I'll give you a physical description of him. But, not that detailed, but...
Ghostly.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you, like,
We're not gonna be that
size
many
and
features.
inches or anything like that. Say, number 13. Hodge. Okay. So he is portly. He's kind of mumbling a bit. Like, he's just, like, he's floating, of course. His legs are moving, but he's really just floating around the perimeter of the cloister. It looks like he's speaking, mumbling in liturgic.
Well, could I understand what he's saying? Or if I can't, then I would speak up. If I would recognize at least it being liturgic, then I would speak out in liturgic and go, "Hello, brother. How are you this fine day?"
I regret it. I'm sorry, Abbot. I regret my idleness. I apologize.
Abbot, I look upon me. You see me as an abbot, yes?
He just keeps his head bowed. No, I must not look upon you, Abbot. I failed you.
It is fine, my son. What did you do? How did you fail me?
I did not find an answer to how we can escape. Please.
I say it in common. I say escape. It seems that I would speak in common for a second, see if he understands. I'd just say, escape, escape. Remind me. Oh, we've been here for so long. What? Escape what? Does he understand me? Or if not, then I'd say it in liturgic.
He doesn't understand you when you speak common, but when you
Common, okay.
he kind of responds to you very indirectly when you talk liturgic. But he says, "I'm sorry. You must remain because of my failure. The seals remain."
The seals remain. I say, and I'll repeat everything in common as goes on. Yes, and
Please.
my good, believe you do not fear. I'm sure that you've done all that you can to free us, right? Have you prayed to the one true God? Yes, you still do that. Yes.
I pray. I hope for redemption, for solace, a proper burial. Please, I must rest.
Yes, you've done much.
And as he says that, he just kind of starts staring, kind of over by the well. I'm so tired.
I wonder if that's where his body is.
I would kind of look over to you and nod as I'm kind of repeating everything in common. Yes. You've done all you could. Whatever you seem to think you failed at, know that you are forgiven. As long as you're true to the faith of the one true God, that is all we ask.
You can see
I'm sure he loves you too.
He closes his eyes. You can see like kind of ethereal, ghostly, like tears just streaming down his cheeks. And he just says, "Thank you." And the ghost just kind of passes.
Well, I'm sorry, friends, but it seems I might need to go fetch some bones down this well.
Oh, you're gonna be willing to go, Friar?
No, I mean, I say sorry because I'm not the one going down to do it.
You know, I think would be like do a great job at going down that well.
What?
I think someone who's an expert climber, an expert of grabbing things, an expert, one might say, of retrieving items. Apu!
Apu.
It's a
Hi.
oh. Oh.
Little monkey head pokes out of the backpack.
So, Apu, do you mind walking over? Don't climb down the hole, but do you mind walking over to that spot over there
Just
that has
leaps.
the big hole?
Leaps out of your
Not
backpack.
into the hole.
And he goes right into the bramble. You kind of
Okay.
lose sight of him because you just see like the brambles kind of like shuffling around and shaking about.
Is there anything to eat in there?
You hear kind of like some scratching around. You can hear him moving around in there.
Okay.
Anything you want to do in the next turn?
Well, if he's in there in the brambles, I could ask him if he finds any bones to let out a yell.
How about the rest of you? Any actions you want to take?
I think I'm just gonna, prepare myself just in case some ghosts appear.
I like to check the doors, Alex, and just kind of see, just not open any of them, but just, they look
I will-
dilapidated, they look
I will join in that escapade.
All right. You just want to like check them out, listen at them, and things like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Just,
and
just while we're waiting.
ping the one that you want to check out first.
Okay, I'll do the one behind the well first.
All right. You have a listen of like what, 5 and 6?
Yeah, let me double check. I believe it's a 5. Yes.
You don't hear anything on the other side of this door. It's another wooden door, pretty weathered. It got a lot of like lichen and stuff like that sticking to it, but otherwise looks usable. Topsy, which one did you want to go check out?
I'll just keep going down the line.
The one
I'll
down
check
here.
out this one.
All right. Kind of same thing. Silver, you don't hear anything distinct. Just like the wind kind of battering against the door a bit. So 10 minutes pass, and you see that Abu comes out of the thicket, very proud looking, and he's got this pretty nice looking varnished tobacco pipe that he plums into his mouth.
That's fantastic. Where did you find it?
I'm gonna give him a light.
Yeah.
He's already packed it. You can see he's got there's a little leather pouch that he's got that has like some tobacco leaf. And so you give him a light, he starts puffing and smoking. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So were there bones with it? So the bones are underneath all of those bushes? Guess what, guys? We're going to be digging through the bushes. Any more tobacco? Or weed? No, I'm not asking you to share. Just wondering if there's any more. Okay. Do you want some food to go along with your pipe? So I give you one from trying to keep the rest of it hidden.
Sure.
Eat one.
He's gonna grab the ration. He's gonna go over to the like opposite side of the courtyard and smoke and eat and enjoy life.
As he should.
While we go dig up some bones.
Oh, we go dig up some bones.
So you want
We
to
might as well.
spend the time to clear this out and get to the bones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll help out.
No problem. You managed to do so. So 10 minutes pass of you doing this, and you clear out enough that you can get to the well, and right there you can see like kind of leaning up against like the last little bit of remnants of the foundation of the well. Is leaning up against it is just a bare skeleton.
All right. Well, I think we
Maybe slumped over a little bit, had been disturbed by the monkey grabbing his pipe and tobacco leaf, but
I think, yeah, I'd take care. I'm sure as everyone else would to pull it out. And I guess while we're there, I might look down the well.
looking down the well, it's just like choked with vine and more vegetation that has like totally taken up the entire tunnel or the shaft. So it'd take quite a bit of time to like cut up. You can kind of even see like the machinery of like the winch and everything has fallen in and is like stuck in the bramble, and like you can see like a rotted bucket in there.
Can we like kill it with fire?
It's not like a dry vegetation. Like it's still alive.
Wet.
Yeah, you need a lot of oil.
By the way, I do not know where we will bury this?
In the graveyard, where the kids are digging up the teeth.
Yes. My point
See if
is,
there's any teeth in the skull.
I mean, is there
Ah.
brick underneath all of the green on the courtyard, or is
either way, I just figured if they're digging up these bodies and such around, do you think maybe spirits have returned?
It seems that way to me, brother. I mean, the signs and portents are there. No, I'm just a layperson, but with seeing the ghosts come out of the organ and these odd crows and Mr. Scully Wully walking around, this seems like it's not the sacred ground it once was, and something has sullied it.
Yes, and then the facts. I mean, the ghost did say something about not releasing the seal. Something is still sealed here. Maybe the spirit of the abbot?
Or of the demon that he defeated.
why would you unseal the demon that you defeated?
We're around 2.
Well, yes, I guess you would want if you needed to reestablish your
Gotta have
cred,
the
you
rubber
would-
match.
He was sealed, right? If he sealed him and did not defeat him, then there's always the chance of that being unsealed, no?
But the story would be a lie. Clewyd's life would be a lie.
An embellishment, maybe?
Or maybe Clewyd's the beast that's sealed. I don't know. We don't. I
You.
can never make sense of these things.
Either way, I think that if I don't know if you would agree with me, but I think in order to put this fellow to rest, we need to speak to this skeleton.
Yes,
We
I
need to
think
let him know that he can't be pulling up these bodies.
How's the teeth?
Or we just leave. Or we leave and I bury it further away. But
I mean, it seems to me like the fact that there's being bodies pulled up, it could have something to do with this desecration, no? I mean, that does seem like a textbook desecration.
yeah.
Does
How
this
do you,
body?
how do you desecrate Holy Land? Let's just pull up the bodies, pull the teeth out. What the hell? Why not?
But this. I mean, this. He died where he was. I mean, he had pipe and tobacco leaning against that well. So there's something there. Not
Right.
sending Apu down there.
Prison there, something.
What were you asking about the body?
Does it have its teeth?
Yes.
I guess the children haven't found this one.
No, and they shouldn't.
Well, I say for now, why don't we continue just exploring the grounds? See if
Can you-
there's something else that's a seal, more obviously.
All right.
Bless the bones.
I guess maybe for that time I will pray to St. Clewyd just about that, asking him to help me put these bones to rest. Just explaining myself that we will be putting him to rest shortly after we find a secure and sacred area. That's all I would do.
This prayer feels hollow. You
I
feel,
feel like
a
I've
disconnection.
felt that many times. Sometimes, especially in some. Yes, and I would definitely say, "Oh, I do not feel this. When I pray, I feel the sense of it is like a warm hug that surrounds me and reassures me. And this is not the case. I feel nothing but the coldness."
And when you pray, I imagine that your visualization typically is one of like an uplifting feeling of the heavens are above. And so when you pray to St. Clewyd, for whatever reason, your attention feels more at your feet.
I guess you would physically see me go like this and just start like opening his eyes and like kind of worried as he looks down as he's praying. Oh, this is not good at all. There is no connection here. The only connection is below us. Well, I guess
Snip the wires.
the exploring is what we must do.
Would we like to go down first, or do we think it'd be good to get the perimeter?
Yeah, what time is it too? I mean,
It's it's getting close to 2.
oh,
I think we should kind of clear things out. I think it's more likely that we'll run Mr. Rag and Bones if we're up doing stuff. So I think we go out this way.
This one here?
Yep.
You would open that up, just like the shell of a building. Most of it has been claimed by the earth and is actually turned to soil. But there's a few bits of stone and wood that still poke out from the earth and the weeds and whatnot. You would notice over here there's a small building that runs right alongside a wall that is not the outer wall, but a wall that is attached to the chapel itself. Let's see. That wall is about 10 feet high, covered in ivy. to the south, you see an overgrown kind of old garden. You can see what the remnants of what were once raised beds. Lots of brambles and weeds and vines that are kind of overtaking the area there. But there's, I don't know, some different plant growths that might be interesting to the Friar potentially. And there is a building kind of straight ahead that looks like it was an old residence. Much larger than some of the things that are little, like it looks like someone of great import probably lived in that building. And it is fashioned of better material, such that it is actually still standing, unlike the building that you're currently standing in, or buildings, it's hard to say. This is all long since deteriorated. And there might be one other thing.
The ghost.
Probably more ghosts. Yes, there. It looks like there is some kind of a monument or a statue here.
That's what I was.
Yeah, I think I'd be interested in checking out the statue and then the building, but if the father wants to look at the plants.
Yes, if they catch my eye, definitely would. I don't know if I have to roll again, but I roll a 5 this time, which would be a success.
Okay, so we're heading over to here first.
It's such a funny thing that it's like this Intuit, and it's like, ooh. He just goes and looks at the plants as he's outside.
Ghosts can wait.
There are, best you could tell, this is probably an herb garden back in the day, because there are still herbs, even amongst all the weeds and like kind of the trash plants that are in here. There is still some stuff in here. So you said you rolled a 5? Okay. You managed to find, ooh, okay. I have to roll something quick. You find something rare.
Okay.
Roll a d20.
Hey, something rare. A 1.
A 1, okay. Roll another d20.
A 5.
Okay. This plant is, you identify it as black clover. Has milk white leaves that are attached to kind of a climbing vine. But if you clip those and dry them, they turn black.
Okay.
If eaten, they are mildly poisonous. If smoked, they grant the ability to speak with inanimate objects for 1 hour.
Inanimate objects.
Right up your alley, my brother.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to report that these are very special, yes. And this is definitely something that we do not want to eat, but we definitely want to smoke. Now, I've only heard about this, and this is one of the reasons why being thrown in prison and such, and you wondered how I kept my spirit, because I knew about this fabled black clover. You are able to speak with inanimate objects, and it will speak back to you.
What do you think the first thing your pipe would say to you when you smoke through it?
I don't know. I don't have a pipe. I'd probably borrow one of yours, and then I don't know what you've been doing with yours, so I have no idea.
Well, it's all in my pocket.
Oh,
It's right here.
well, I'd have to try it first.
Friar, just a quick question, just out of curiosity. Did you
Yes.
cultivate this and like make more of it?
Well, I am able to split the dose, but would I be able to think that I would be able to somehow, yes, cultivate this in a garden someplace?
Potentially, you'd have to replant it pretty quick, because if you uproot this, it's going to dry out pretty quick. This is a particularly difficult thing to replant or like move like geographically a long distance.
Yeah.
But
It's just
Yeah. I build it back up, or
as
get
you're
rid of the bug.
speculating about all this,
Yeah.
you hear a voice here in the herb garden say, "Oh, a good find there." And you see like kind of this hunched back monk, ghostly, approaching you.
Oh.
For a second.
Yes, you did identify this, yes?
I sure did, yes.
Black clover, but there's something a little unique about it, no?
Tell me, friend.
This one is
have you-
not poisonous.
No.
I tended to this garden. This is a special strain of black clover. It is not poisonous. In fact, it is quite nutritious.
Oh. Even when eating.
It will give you the gifts of the earth that the one true God placed here for us, empowering you, strengthening your resolve to combat his enemies. Just as St. Clewyd fought our grievous enemies many years ago.
Yes. These here are my friends. They are true followers, and well, they are at least open-minded, and they are here with me as we try to figure out this puzzle here. Now you would say that even eating this would be even more satisfactory than the fabled talking to inanimate objects? Yes.
I enjoy my pipe weed just as much as the next man. It all depends on context, my son. What you need in the moment.
Oh.
Should you need a belly full of courage, then eat. Should you wish to entertain the imagination, then smoke.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'd rather have the ability to talk to inanimate objects and even have like a +2 permanent hit points or something.
I would be sad at this moment that there's something better to do with it than just smoke it. Well, either way, we are here. Tell me, you see us for who we are.
See a lot of Clewyd in you. You wish to do the right thing. You're not afraid of power, of tradition. You would do the right thing even if the old structures forbade it. Do I see you?
Yes. Very, very clearly, in fact. Yes.
Well, I've shared with you but one secret today. Let me share with you one more. You are needed here, Friar. Things are not well here. Something wicked stirs beneath the old Abbey. I can't say for certain what, but know this, there is a secret stair into the crypts from the abbot's residence, and he points to that building that's not so far away. I share this with you that it might be knowledge that might help you, help save you, might help you put to rest whatever chaotic energy is below, but I would ask you for a favor on my behalf, should it be convenient.
Yes, good monk, of course.
Should you ever find yourself at the tomb of Prior Jerome Gust, pray there on my behalf.
Yes. And what is your name, friend?
I am Brother Chade. Well, I have dwelled here for long enough. I feel my energy fading. Good luck to you, Friar. Good luck to you and your friends and the strange company you keep. I trust that your heart has brought together all of these folks together to make this a good place once again. And with that, he just fades from view.
The Chade. Wow.
Yes, Silver, Topsy.
Yeah.
When people who are ghosts, who are that strong in their faith, I don't know, accept you or see you, does that feel odd to you?
Nothing really feels odd. Everything's just fucking crazy, dude.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree with Topsy. I mean, it's a strange place here. You have strange ways.
Doesn't
We
hurt
should-
you or anything
Oh.
like that.
Like my feelings?
Not really.
No, like I don't understand a whole lot about all the magic and the religion. I mean, I don't.
I think it's more the opposite. I think the one true God is not fond of us, so they, whatever your way is, it tends to ignore us sometimes, but sometimes lets us in. So I don't know. I think it's kind of like a frenemy relationship. We're just, kind of on the side.
I
but
think
it
he
doesn't
just
hurt
needs
me.
to pick a lane and stick to it.
Let the healing spells work lane.
Yeah,
That one's
well,
pretty
that
good.
works for us right now. Yes.
As long as you keep iron and silver away from me, I'm fine. The prayers are an interesting curiosity.
We can't keep Silver away from you. Your name is Silver. It's a little difficult.
That's true. Fair enough.
So, what's I hear about a secret entrance in the abbot's room?
Right.
And why?
That's
To
a
the
secret.
crypt?
Well, he said that I mean, you've heard him, but in some way help us, yes? Maybe forego whatever else we might have got it ourselves into.
Do you think you should eat the black clover? I did start off with that.
Would you, in any other context, if a ghost comes up to you and says, "Hey, bro, you want to eat this black leaf? It's good for you. I made it myself. I don't know. Something about it means he's dead."
But he doesn't want him to.
It's-
The real consequence is us not getting to talk to inanimate objects.
That's true.
That is true, but it has to dry first. So, Well, I don't know that. But
It is drying as we
Yeah.
speak. Does it dry pretty quickly? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna
I
have
think
to
it'll
eat
take
it.
it'll take a day. Are you gonna eat it?
is there more?
Oh,
Just one. You found one, but yeah,
I am able to split.
you can split it. Who wants to take the other pill?
It's literally a death thing. What are you doing?
If you think about it, you eat it, you become dead, and if you smoke it, you can speak to dead things. What is a bench but a dead tree at one point? You're crazy.
But listen, friend, I am very blessed in this world that there is concrete evidence of my faith. But even then, we are tested when we really do not know. And we still believe that is when the true reward happens. And I
You're
will.
gonna believe the ghost of a dead monk who told you to eat a plant that'll poison you.
It's well, either way. Either way.
Can you split
I split.
one
I
and
split.
smoke the
I don't know. That'd be up to Alex if I'd be able to split and dry a little bit else of it out, or would it have to be both?
I'd let you do that, but you can't like
Okay, yes.
you can't split it again. You know.
Yeah, of course. I will mark it down that it is only split once. Well, I go and I do it. I'm gonna sit down for this one. There we go, and I will
Eat it.
chew it up and eat it.
Just kind of gnaw on it.
We'll find out right now if he's a lying bastard or not.
Please roll me 3d6.
I would be worried, brother, but when it comes to
2.
I trust you.
4.
Oh, 2, 4.
Oh, I'm adding it.
Got it.
Sorry. You want me to add them?
Yep.
Okay, and the last one is a 6. Okay, so 12.
12 turns. You have a +1 to attack rolls, damage rolls, and saving throws.
Yes.
2 hours. Better start killing.
I'll put
Too
a
hyped. Is he
backpack just
okay?
to listen to that.
That's great stuff! I do. Come here, brother. Come on. You and me. Let's do it. Let's duke it out one more time. I feel great.
Hold me back. No, save it, brother. There's demons about.
Yes, demons. Yes.
And as you have just finished gnawing that and, you know, getting some Popeye strength in you, it's already like a pretty cloudy, overcast, sort of misty day. But almost like on a dime, like it gets really foggy, like Silent Hill foggy all around the chapel. And the sky kind of darkens just a little bit. There's still daylight, but it's like the clouds just thicken and darken. You see a pack of black feathered birds fly off overhead, kind of in the direction of the Abbey, but they soar over this wall and then into the fog, so you can't see them anymore.
I guess we gotta keep going. I mean, we've got this fog. Obviously, whatever it is, it's wicked around these parts. Does not want us to continue, but I think we must.
Yeah.
Into the
Are we
abbot's house.
feeling? Is it just obscuring our vision, and we're not feeling any kind of way?
Yeah, obscuring your vision a bit. The light maybe gets to be like kind of a more dim, but you can still see. Just the mood sours a bit. All right, where would you like to go next?
Did you guys want to go check out statue, or did you want to head into the abbot's house?
The statue might as well.
Yeah,
It's here,
it's right there.
but definitely the house is the target.
All right, so you head over to the statue. As you approach, it's clearly a monument depicting St. Clewyd, 8 feet tall. It looks like him in his middle-aged years. The dais that he's standing on is white marble, but cracked and has a bit of moss cover. That's not really what concerns you so much as the pink gelatinous protrusions that are covering this thing in almost in its entirety. In this pink, it looks like some kind of a gelatinous sort of material, like an ooze that's pretty rigid, enough so that like it's forming like a hand that's coming out of his chest and holding a skull, and it's also forming a horn right out of his forehead. His beard is just like these tentacles of like dripping pink ooze, like, you know, Ghostbusters 2 ooze just dripping off of his face. Like this whole thing is just desecration of the saint, and there's overgrown roses kind of around the monument at its base.
Terrible.
I'm gonna take my sword and just sort of like lop off the horn.
As you do that and your sword hits it, like the ooze just kind of like disintegrates and like turns into kind of like a fine powder that falls onto the wind.
Fascinating.
Very good, Silver asked you. What were you thinking at that moment when you did that? That you had that power to disintegrate that sinister ooze?
Well, to be totally honest, I don't know. I just find it ugly. So I wanted to clear it off. So I don't know. I guess felt good to see something restored.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just keep clearing off the goo.
Thank you.
Continues to be kind of the same type of deal. Like it just like seems like its attachment to the statue is pretty tenuous, and as you just not much force at all, just the impact of your blade on this substance just disintegrates it.
Yeah. Cool.
And I think with that, your attentions, it sounds like we're going to be turned towards the abbot's residence. We could probably save that maybe for next time. Although, I'll leave you with this. You hear a little girl humming on the other side of that wall where the birds went.
Okay.
It's Violet.
So that can be your cliffhanger. So yeah, thanks guys for coming together again here tonight to get back into some Dolmenwood. I hope you enjoyed like the first little bit of the ruined chapel of St. Clewyd. I think we've established a couple of threads that'll probably keep us here maybe a little bit longer than just, hey, we're peeking in to see what's up, as there's some themes of church corruption and reclaiming this place for the one true God. Some corruption. There are children that need saving. There's some undead stuff happening. There's all sorts of reasons maybe to stay exploring here. So I guess as we close out, I'll turn it over to you all. So we'll engage in our gratitude for tonight.
Yeah, I'll do one. So I definitely throw some gratitude towards the good Friar for recognizing the interconnection of the saints with how he's been using spells. Like it really helps like build a lot of texture in the world that we're meeting saints he's referred to, that he thinks about, that connect into things. So I think it was Godwin, I think was the saint. So that was really cool. I appreciated that.
I'd have to agree. That would be my gratitude is, well, it's a two-part one. One, just really keeping with what this particular episode was calling for us to really focus on. And then to my companions, all three, other than the Friar, just that absolutely unquellable urge to poke things. So thank you for poking things.
I'm actually going to throw mine out to Moreen because I want to say, like, Apu, I feel like just adds and has always added. And, like I'm always just going to picture this monkey smoking this pipe now. Just like I'm always going to picture some other things that Apu has done over time. And so thank you for introducing that kind of our sort of comedy relief character, Apu, to the mix. Great.
It's a real twist on that animal companion.
I'll also toss mine over towards Moreen, more or less still keeping in line with, I guess, Lillibeth's morals when it comes to children and terrible situations, whether it be half braggled children or kids eating bread and worms in a tower, just completely dirty. Loving that you're still keeping that about the other and still having that more positive outlook for more things for them.
Yeah, I mean, it always feels great to get back into Dolmenwood with everyone. I want to give my appreciation to all of my fellow players as we play, we've known each other for quite a bit now at this point, and we all never don't want to take the spotlight. And I felt very bad always being like, "Ooh, there's so many things about my character that I would, So thank you for figuring out ways and making it real by still being a part of it, because I truly don't want to. I don't want to be in the spotlight of anything, So it's nice that. It is nice to be with a group of people that allow it to happen, and I don't feel bad or uncomfortable with it. It feels great to be able to play with y'all in that way.
Thank you.
From my position, running the game, I always have to say thank you to Winston, similarly to what Moreen said. Thank you for poking the things and pressing the buttons so that we could see what happens. And also to Dawson for using the feline ability to do a little scouting, because I feel like that opens up choices for you all to make. And yeah, there's been a couple of times in previous games where you've poked around and gotten us eyes on 2 or 3 interesting things, and there's always fun dialogue that comes along with, which A, B, or C, what are we going to do? So thanks to you all. I mean it this time. We're going to try to get into a regular pattern again. So in 2 weeks, we should be back with more Dolmenwood. So if you want to catch us back on the 19th, we'll be streaming this again. Hopefully we'll have, I can only imagine, some of the things that not our minstrel, our bard could tell us if they were here. So maybe we'll get some more information once Thomas is back in the mix. So with that, thanks everyone for hanging out. If you want to support the Patreon, you can do that on the Patreon page and check out the previous episodes there. I think that's all I got. I need to see if we got someone we can raid tonight. Let's raid. We'll raid Havoc RPG. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good night. Thank you for the donations to Futures Explored. Next weekend is Extra Life Tabletop Weekend already, so I've got a couple of events that'll be happening on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Cephalosk will be here running DCC. On Sunday night, we've got X-Crawl. I think, Moreen, you're in that one. So
yeah.
The Moreen team will be here playing the Crawl, formerly known as Terror on the Tundra. So looking forward to that. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you hopefully next weekend.